reason for the protests on the Maidan in Kiev was the widespread corruption. People fought back, fed up with the fact that the rich were getting richer while they hardly had enough money to get by. Has anything changed since the protests? Or is corruption still flourishing despite anti-corruption authorities?
We are speaking about corruption much more. That's why sometimes it appears that it becomes more corruption than it was before. But truly saying, it is less corruption than in previous years. We're very much corrupted, one of the most corrupted systems in Ukraine.
Civil society is keeping an eye on the government, and pressure from the outside is growing. This is the reason for a new reform. It dictates that the newly created anti-corruption authorities should fight for more democracy. But it still has a long way to go.
This anti-corruption body, they are on the stage of their establishing. It's not so easy to become a very well detective, of course, even for the highest anti-corruption body. So they need some more time to become more educated, to work better.
An example shows how important this is. A judge was summoned by the mayor of a city whose daughter received land for commercial purposes, and the man was being charged with corruption. In a conversation with the judge, the man said that he would of course attend trial, but only if the judge assured him that he would be acquitted of all charges. The judge was to receive a large sum of money in return. However, she declined, and the mayor sued her for accepting bribes. She was suspended, and one of her colleagues said the mayor was free from any guilt. Such activities are the order of the day in the Ukraine. There are some judges who are looking forward to the latest reform.
It's a good choice that we have such anti-corruption bodies in Ukraine, and we hope a lot on them because they are made of the new people quite. They have a normal salary, which is rare in Ukraine. In Ukraine, the salaries are very low for all the people who are working, also the managers of the country who are working in the police, etc. And they have a normal salary, so probably they will be more effective in fighting the corruption.
But experts warn that the reform is not going far enough. Oksana Velichko of Reanimation Package of Reforms has called for a dedicated court.
Sometimes they come to the court and then, okay, everything is fine, no corruption at all anymore. That's why we need anti-corruption court. We don't see the other way how to fight the corruption. If we will provide all the investigation and will be finishing in court.
Although it is a start and it shows the goodwill of members of government. Judges receive more money for their work, but are also better monitored. All officials have to reveal their assets and show where their money comes from. Some EU members have compared the anti-corruption authorities in Ukraine with a litmus test.
Es gibt mir noch zu viele, die dort speziell ihre eigenen Interessen im Vordergrund sehen. Aber insgesamt haben wir auch durch die Unterstützung natürlich von Regierung und Parlament auch in der Art zu arbeiten und sich zu reformieren, ist es auf jeden Fall natürlich besser als das vorherige oder das vorvorige. Man ist da auf einem richtigen Weg, aber noch lange nicht da, wo man hin muss.
As long as bribery is kept to a minimum, the path is clear for the country's accession to the EU. It is expected that both authorities, the National Anti-Corruption Bureau and the National Agency for Prevention of Corruption, are independent institutions supported by the government. Any attempt to stop reforms is closely followed by Western countries and seen as a warning sign. No reform is successful immediately after entering into force. It is not normal, however, that Ukraine is considered the most corrupt country in Europe. Especially young people are calling for a fight against corruption. They have replaced the old militiamen and lead police stations in order to prevent arbitrary fines. Bohdan Yaramenko of Maidan on Foreign Affairs believes the country is on the right, if long, path.
We have the new structures which are was designed after the revolution to combat the corruption. We have the new police which people trust more than any other institution in the country. We already getting more trust in each other, in our country, in our future, but in the most of the situations we have a hell of a road ahead of us to reach the final success story.
The young also founded their own party. It is thanks to them that laws against corruption were actually passed. They are also responsible for the publication of orders on the Internet, rules on freedom of information, and financing of parties by the state. The old parties consider them to be troublemakers. At the same time, they give people courage and hope for a future without corruption, as well as a future of Ukraine in the European Union.